हम talk better? No more. At Spring Library, we explain every topic in simple way. Join the learning family and score high every day.
All right, welcome back. Today for our problem, so I'll draw first the coordinate plane here. We've got four vectors. Each of them points along an axis of the Cartesian coordinate system. So our first vector points due east and has a magnitude of 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers. Second one points due north and has a magnitude of 3.75 kilometers. The next one points due east and has a magnitude of 2.5 kilometers. And the last one points due south and has a magnitude of 3 kilometers. So we can find the resultant vector r by taking the components of each of these vectors and adding them up. So let's take first the x components of all the vectors. I'll do x in blue right here. So the x components, so these two vectors right here do not have any x components. This one has a negative x component, and this one has a positive x component. So we'll add these two vectors together and see what we get. So we have 2 kilometers in the positive direction, and then plus a negative 2.5 kilometers in the negative direction. So we'll just write minus 2.5 kilometers in the negative 5 direction, or in the negative x direction, excuse me, and that'll give us negative 0.5 kilometers, which means that it's going to be heading in the west direction if this were a compass rose right here. All right. The y components, we're going to do something very similar. We're going to use the other two vectors now. These two vectors both have y components. These two vectors right here do not. So that is why we are going to do it that way. So we have 3.75 kilometers in the positive y direction, and in the negative direction, we have 3 kilometers, which is equal to 0.75 kilometers in the north direction, because this is positive. All right, so our vector is going to look something like this. All right. Our vector r right there. Okay, so to find the magnitude of that vector, we can use Pythagorean theorem. So the magnitude of the vector r is going to be equal to the square root of the x component squared plus the y component squared. Which, if you plug that into your calculator, you'll find that the magnitude is equal to 0.901 kilometers. The direction can be found using the tangent. If we were to turn this into a triangle right here, then this triangle right here would have, let's see, it would have a length of 0.5 kilometers right here and a height of 0.75 kilometers. So that means that the tangent would be the side opposite, the angle theta right here would be the side opposite of that angle. for the side adjacent to that angle, which, plugging that into your calculator, you'll find that that is equal to 56.31 degrees north of west. All right. So there are your answers right there. And there you have it.